Hey y'all, today on Storytime with J. Marie, I'm gonna tell y'all a couple of stories that I've experienced with my friends. Y'all wanna hear this? Let's talk
What's
about it.
up, my beautiful girls and my wise men listening? It's your girl, J. Marie. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Girl Talk with J. Marie. And yes, y'all, it's Girl Talk, but a wise man is listening. And for today's episode, as you can see, I am fully ready for Wakanda Forever. If you are listening, thank you so much. I also appreciate you for watching because you can see that in this outfit, I am recently leaving the screening of Wakanda Forever, and it was incredible. So I want to thank you all for listening and subscribing to Girl Talk with J. Marie. I really appreciate you all over the country. I'm so empowered. If you have not saw the movie yet, which you may or may not have, not sure when you're going to see this episode, it was incredible, and I feel so empowered as a black woman. Woo! So I got excited, and I was like, let me keep my little outfit on and do story time with J. Marie. And for those who don't know, it is story time with J. Marie, and today we are using the Queen of Everything cup bowl slash for us to pull our episode story from. I am so excited for you all to watch the movie because I was able to do a Q&A, a question and answer session with the director and the cast, primary cast for Wakanda Forever. And RIP to Chadwick. I mean, I can't stop saying that the movie is a lot behind. It really it's a lot behind the grief, the stages of grief, just dealing with grief, and I really appreciate them doing that for this movie. As somebody who has lost loved ones, it's so important not to scheme past those things. And it's like I really appreciated how they wrote this movie, and obviously the performances were exceptional, but just the writing was very much appreciated for those who have to grieve, for those who even grieve Chadwick, who are still grieving Chadwick. So many tears were flowing. I cried 3 different times. It was big. It was big. And congratulations to the cast and crew of Wakanda Forever. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Wakanda Forever. Okay. So, y'all know what Girl Talk with J. Marie. Story time. We take a story. I do not know anything about these episodes. I really wrote these months ago, and I actually forgot what I wrote. So whatever I pull out, I will go straight into story time. I want you guys to know this is raw and uncut. I don't have nothing to hide from y'all. You ask, I tell. It's as simple as that. Oops, I hit my microphone. You ask, I tell. Like, for instance, right now, I don't even have a bra on. I went to go see Wakanda Forever, and my boobies were free. Shout out to me for that. Um, yeah, you know, back in the day, our boobs used to be free. For those who didn't know, we never had to wear a bra. And I still live by that. Okay, nobody cares. All right, let me pull this out. Let's see what our episode topic is going to be for today. I'm not looking at all. Nervous always because I say I want to tell y'all everything and then I'm always scared of what it's going to be. Oh God, the first thing I see is just between friends. That immediately makes me nervous. I don't know what the hell I'm about to ask myself. Because God knows if I gotta tell y'all the truth, woo! Just between friends. Did they help you, hurt you? Example. Wait, experience something together. Just between friends. Did they help you? Oh, okay. I think I know what they're asking. Y'all, I look for writing prompts. I look for story prompts different ways. So I'm going to try to share two of these. Um, yeah, I'm going to try to share two of these because friendship is big and all. It's a relationship that we all deal with. And we deal with many different relationships, and friends are a huge part, a huge component of relationships that we have for a regular part of life. Some of us have several people that we claim as friends. Some of us understand that's someone being me, which is why I say it like this. Some of us understand that I don't call everybody my friend because once you live a little while longer, you understand that a friend is someone who has no choice but to be there. And I say that with the most gracious appreciation because as a friend, it's not always easy to be there for your friends when you don't feel like being there. But as a person who needed a friend, I also am so grateful for the times that my friends have sacrificed being there for me. So with that being said, I'm making sure that we're still rolling here on the microphone. Just between friends. So talking about my friendships, I'm gonna start with this first question. Did my friends did they help you? I'm gonna talk about a time where my friends helped me. And I'm gonna specifically talk about one friend, maybe two friends in this circumstance. And if I get emotional, it's only because I literally just finished watching Wakanda Forever. And when you watch it, you'll understand why this can make you get emotional once I talk about it. One time that two of my friends helped me, and y'all know I don't like using names, but they'll know who they are when they hear this. In 2006, I lost my best friend and my brother, Justin Maurice. And I was in the space, I was in Louisiana with my friends at that time because I was in school. And two of my friends, one male, one female, one was there when I found out, and one was there after I found out. The one that was there when I found out, we'll call her Tiffany because her name starts with a T. My mom made me go give her the phone, and we spoke on speakerphone at 3 o'clock in the morning to talk about this. And although it's 2006, it still hurts to have this conversation. If you ever grieve somebody unexpectedly, you understand. But um, I appreciated her for helping me with that moment because I did not know what was about to come out of my mother's mouth. I didn't know that she was about to tell me that my brother was dead. I didn't know that she was about to tell me that I lost one of my favorite people in the world. That was my very first experience losing somebody very close to me. So that was tough. And she helped me hear those words at 3 o'clock in the morning. And we was drunk. We had just finished turning up and partying and just had got home from a long night of having a good time. And my friend Tiffany, for the sake of this conversation, she was there. And to this day, we are still friends. And I very much appreciate her for being the person that was there when I heard the hardest news of my life. And I lost my daddy 5 years after that. And that still is the hardest news that I heard because it was the first time I ever lost somebody that I cared about. And unexpectedly, and my friend was a friend. She let me cry, scream. I broke the walls in our apartment. I was punching stuff. I was upset. And she was there. And the other friend that was there was the guy that I was dating at the time, who is also still my friend to this day. And I love him and I appreciate him. And we'll call him Derek because he was there for me and he helped me grieve and get through that time. Because after I buried my brother, or in that sake, we cremated him, but Derek, who again I was dating, who could have been a jerk, and been a man, and he wasn't, because at the time me and him had been really close friends before we was ever anything else. And it's funny because Lovers and Friends was popular at that time. Tell me again, can we be lovers? That was the song then. And he was my friend. He was my lover. He was my friend. And he let me stay at his house every day. And I was with him often, but like I really needed his help then. And when we talk about the story of did they help you, he helped me get through a very hard time of grief. I was so sad. I was so sad. And I was so scared because I had never lost anyone. I didn't know what to expect, and I couldn't sleep with the lights off. And Derek let me stay at his house with the lights on. You know, I was throwing up when I found out my brother passed. I was sick as a dog, depressed and everything. And Derek came to my house. He lay with me in the bed and just held me. My breath smelling like throw up. He still sat there. He talked about my breath. But he stuck around. And he comforted me in a very, very hard time. And I love that man for that. And appreciate him as my friend, especially in that time. And you know how I feel about you for that, for sure. That don't go nowhere. Um, and another thing that's on here, that's a lot. That's heavy. So let me talk about the last thing on here. I'm not going to talk about anybody that's hurt me. I don't really, the friends that have hurt me are no longer in my life, and I don't want to give them any edge here. And that's something just for the side note for those who are listening. Don't give anybody that's hurt you this kind of time. If they hurt you, they weren't supposed to be for you. So peace out. That was your loss. And really, I didn't get hurt by those people. I was relieved from those people. God removed them from my life because I pray that prayer all the time. Take people out of my life that ain't supposed to be here. So sorry for you. Moving on to experience something together. And I'll end it on a very light note. I will do a simple light note so that I don't go into too long of a story. Hopefully we get more friend stories because these are really funny. Y'all know I'm crazy and I do a lot of things. An experience together I will share with a friend that I still have, whom I love and I adore. And I love her because we do things like these. So the experience that I had with this friend was in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. And while we were there, it was something that we said, you know, we're just going to grace this place. So we graced the Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, with us. And at that time, we were finishing up a night. We had such a great time while we were there. There was several of us there. It was for my birthday and a little gathering that we had with friends and family. But it was my birthday weekend, so we were doing the end most. And when we were headed back to the room, she and I, we skinny dipped in the pool before we went into the room. So we were like, just record us jumping into the water, no clothes on. So our other friend that was with us, we had her record us. And my friend's name is Eileen. I'm trying to think of a fake name. I was sorry. Her name is Eileen, is what we'll call her. And we jumped into the water with our clothes off while our friend recorded us at the resort. So that's what I did that I experienced with another friend that I love her for doing that with me because some people are scary and she didn't even hesitate. Neither did I, of course. It was so fun. I'll do it 100 times. I love the fact that we were able to do that. It was so awesome. Oh my God, we're crazy. Life is great. I hope you enjoyed this story time with J. Marie. I love y'all. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let us know. Well, let me know. What's a fun time? What is a moment that you shared with your friends, whether it was how they helped you or something that you experienced with them? Please leave it in the comments. I can't wait to read this if you do. And yeah, let me know what y'all think about my experiences. I mean, if you don't want to share, you could just tell me what I did wrong or right. Would you jump in the water naked? Would you? Make sure you remember that you are still alive. So remember to continue to write your own happy ending. You got this. And Wakanda Forever. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. And congratulations to the cast and crew. Love y'all.
Now, the Q&A with Ryan Coogler and Wakanda Forever cast.
Said we're bathed in Chadwick's legacy on this set. So what was that like as an actor to literally try and portray the opposite? Somebody that was closing himself off to grief in the midst of what is probably one of the, if you're going to have a cinematic therapeutic moment of grief, that's what we all saw. What was that like?
It was incredibly difficult. I remember just that moment of going to my phone and seeing every possible American number calling you, and you're like, I went to my email and someone saying my condolences, and I'm like, my condolences for what? I just spoke to you last night about a script. Why are you emailing me that? And coming out of my email to see my my team, my representatives at the time say, do you want to write something about Chad? And I zoned out of that email and I went to my phone, saw all these calls, and I thought to myself, I'm gonna make this all go away. This is how I'm gonna make this go away. I'm going to call Chad and he's going to answer the phone. So I kept calling, and then I saw Daniel Kaluuya, and Daniel Kaluuya don't call nobody. He busy. I was like, why is this brother calling me? And I called him and I said, yeah, so you have like 5 seconds to tell me that this is not real. And he was extremely quiet. And I said, you're playing. And he heard me fumbling from my other phone. I heard that he had this call, this phone ringing. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm calling Chad. And he said, Tish, the family. And that's when I lost it. So then...
Architects, like, the public doesn't celebrate the blueprint. You know what I mean? Like, the public appreciates a nice looking building, but if I like showed you the blueprint for the Burj Khalifa, like most of us wouldn't know what we was looking at. You know what I mean? But for whatever reason, like screenplays get celebrated. You know what I'm saying? People know about them and you can read them and have a good time. But the truth is, that's not the finished product. You know what I'm saying? Like the finished product is the movie. And sometimes things can be really cool, but when they said, you know, the effect isn't there, and that's when the actor comes in, you know. So that's when we work. A lot of times we working on set, you know what I mean. Like a lot of the best lines in this movie didn't come from me and Joe, you know. Like it came from them. You know, they would say, hey, I'm thinking about like maybe you should say this. And it's like, there you go, you know what I mean. Where it's like, this ain't working for me. Make this work. I'll be back in 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And then you know, we'll watch, we'll look at it, and it's like, okay, yeah, here it is, right here. You know, this is where it's at. So it's a very iterative process. I mean, look, man, Liki Khan, that did not come from me. You know, that was Alex and my bill and Tano saying, hey, man, we need something to say. Like, the Wakanda's got Wakanda Forever, man. Where's our thing at? We thinking maybe it's this, you know. And I'm like, Liki Khan, okay. I'm like, Josue, what's that mean? Rise Telecom. I'm like, perfect, you know. And then ran with
so
it.
y'all got that routine. So that was a collaborative process with the actors to give their version of Wakanda Forever.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what I just had to catch that. You know, that was like placed in my hands. You know, so yeah, like it's for us, man, for Joe and myself. You know, we thinking about what's gonna be on screen. You know, and what's the best thing that's gonna be on screen. And you asked about Ramonda Angela's not here, but she's somebody who didn't ask for where she was. Like, she had a lot of power in this movie. None of it she was after, you know, like, and she's holding on to a lot and trying not to let it break through. But when she has to fire somebody that she cares about deeply, you know, like some of that comes out when she, you know, in the movie was for us about people, not just the loss of T'Challa, but people losing things that define them. You know, like
We don't want to get too many spoilers now, because although this is being recorded, but
it's being recorded?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, we don't want to get too many spoilers. In fact, I want to remind y'all came a little late, so I couldn't tell you.
It's interesting. You were talking about like it being me and Joe in the blank page, but it never really was that. Like honestly. Even when it was, like, of course we had to write, but we were blessed to be writing on a movie that we knew was gonna go. Like the studio was saying, hey, we're gonna make this. I'm making it with actors that I know. You know, we forged a family making that first film, and I kind of know the actors' idiosyncrasies. Now, obviously, we had yet to cast these beautiful, talented, gifted actors at the end here. There was that element too that we're gonna have to build out this part of the film. But as far as the Wakandans that were coming back, you know, I know these two. I know Denai. I know, you know, Angela. I know what they like, what they don't like. You know, I can kind of see it coming. You know, it never felt like we were writing it alone. You know, like I knew that I had to make something that they could make. You know, like I couldn't bring them something that they weren't gonna be able to give themselves to. So it actually made it very clear what had to be done. You know, we kind of like a band. You know, and I had to write a song that they could get on stage and sing. You know, and if it wasn't written the right way, they wouldn't sing it. You know what I mean? Like it's just not the group to do something for the sake of doing it. You know what I mean? And I'm not the director to do something for the sake of doing it. So
I saw the film.
I
I would agree.
But to be honest with you, those two things were kind of one and the same. You know, like in Chad, he was many things. He was many things. He was the most unique human being I ever met. You know, and to know him was to be affected by him. You know, like is the truth. Because it's like that with things that are unique. And when we lost him, my heart broke because it's like damn, I'm not gonna have that in my life anymore. As a guy, as a director, but also my heart broke for all the people he wouldn't get to meet. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, that was that was like the cosmic unfairness of it. You know what I mean? Like, and that said, there was a duty to do something that was worthy of him, and he was so ambitious. Like he was really, really ambitious. You know, so it was like if we're gonna do it, we gotta go big. You know what I'm saying? Like Chad didn't want to do nothing small. You know, like if he was gonna put clothes on at the Met Gala, it was gonna be the best clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like if he was gonna do an accent, he was gonna be the best at it. You know what I mean? So it was like if we're doing it, we gotta go big for him. You know, so it was all one and the same.
I mean, I will say on it, like keeping everyone on their P's and Q's. Yes, I didn't expect that. Was that refreshing for you with this, just showing her vulnerability that way?
Yeah, it was. I mean, initially, you know, when Ryan told me of her arc, I was like, and then I was like, yeah, no, that's right. That's absolutely right. And it was something that, you know, actually I cherished that arc. I cherished that she got to go through something that really had to shift her. And she couldn't stay in the same place, you know, and I think that is also the beauty and the blessing of getting to continue this story and this world of these, you know, women of African descent and characters of African descent that you rarely get to see on this platform, is you get to see them get stretched now, and you get to see them step into all these aspects of their humanness that we don't always get to see us do. So to have the rug pulled out from under her like that was, you know, there was a jarring aspect, but it felt like when I looked outside, looking in, I said, this is right. This is the thing that needs to happen to her, and she's trying. It's so fitting, you know. It was very astute of Ryan and Joe, because, you know, she likes to be in control, and she likes to she knows the result before she goes for the thing. That's who she is. She keeps the nation in place, and you know, it was like this aspect of failing, this aspect of messing up, this aspect of also not only just that in her job, but also in the relationships that's so important to her, which is this family who she's leaned into to love and care for beyond her job. And so it's an emotional connection also, the loss of Shuri. It's not just like a job that, you know, where she messed up one day. So all of that was connected to, you know, and Ryan was really great about talking about this in the beginning, about how as Lupita was saying, she's like, he was like the key is over here with figuring out the grief process, and we're like back here. And the idea of how do you actually, you know, my way of dealing with it is I'm going to fix everybody. I'm going to take her. She's going to come on this mission and she's going to get right. You know, we're going to make her right this way. And it's not what happens. And I haven't dealt with my own process. And so, you know, I start to trip. And, you know, that sort of a journey for all of us to get such singular journeys is just a real blessing. And the beauty of it is we don't see that often enough on the screen. So I was thankful to be a part of that.